So, I mean, I don't know if you didn't notice, but I record Genshin Impact content and I cover the game, and it's just basically you're legally obliged at some point in your Genshin Impact YouTube career that you have to record a tier list on what is the best Genshin Impact character. So, here we are. Today we're going to do a tier list for all the characters in the 1.3 update, up until this point, and how good I think they are in the game. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer before I release, before I make this tier list, is that I like all of the characters in the game. There is not a character I don't hate. Like, people can say things like, oh, Amber is awful, or some people say, oh, Kaya, is awful, or Traveler's terrible, but thing is, I like these characters. I like playing with them. If I put them low on this tier list, it doesn't mean that I dislike them or anything. In my honest opinion, all characters in the game can beat all of the content. Like, you can beat the entire game up until level 90 plus with the 4 starting characters. So if a character's low, it just means that there's probably a better option out there, but it doesn't mean that they're inherently an awful character in general. So yeah, that's going to be my little disclaimer, because obviously I don't want to rank characters low, but let's say if Chi-Chi is stronger than Barbara, I'm going to put Chi-Chi above Barbara, for example. But yeah, let's get into it. So if you do enjoy this little discussion, and I'd like to hear your opinions as well on it, on any where I placed it. Comment down below. Let's be pretty civil here. And if you do want to support me out, you can feel free to sub. Only 3.4% of people watch my videos are subscribed, and I post daily Genshin Impact content and discussions, so if you do want to support me out, you can feel free to sub. Now, let's get into the tier list. So, the first thing I notice is, this tier list apparently has no Hoot Out, but apparently we got this character from the older beta testing, so that's going to be interesting. So I'll just say what I'm going to put. Okay, let's start off with the characters that I know that I'm probably going to play somewhat low on this tier list, and I think that I'm going to press the back button, obviously. So we're going to start off with what I think is going to be the low tier characters. So I don't want to put Amber in D tier, because I love Amber. If it's on waifu list, I put Amber S rank, because I really like Amber, but in comparison to all the other Archer characters in the game, her damage isn't as high. It doesn't mean that, you can't clear the game with her. You can. It just takes a bit more resources to try and get her to be to a level where everyone else is. So I'm going to put her in D tier for now. And let's just go off of Traveler. I think, honestly, Traveler is a bit of a mid tier. I want to put Traveler in C tier. Now, this is only because we've only got 2 elements right now. We've got Anemo and we have Geo. And Geo Traveler is really, really good with Zhang Ling, but Anemo Traveler is a bit weaker in comparison. His crowd control, or their crowd control, is not as it's not as strong as Sucrose, it's not as strong as Venti, but they're okay at dealing alright damage with their abilities as well at the same time, especially with the Festering Desire sword. So that's why I don't want to put them low, but I'd say either a high C tier or a low B tier for the minute. Now Albedo, I think I don't know who I want to put in S. I don't want to put everyone in S. I mean I'd love to put everyone in S, but obviously to be a serious tier list, I can't do that. So I've not played around with Albedo enough to give the best opinion here, but I know that he's a very, very strong support character. So I'm thinking maybe high A for the minute. I'm probably going to change this around when I finish it, but for the minute I'm thinking high A. And Barbara, I'm going to put it maybe mid A, because that she can do a lot of healing output. Now, obviously I made a video the other day talking about shields, and people think shields are more important than healing now, but Barbara is a very, very strong healer for, especially in the early game. If you Barbara can carry you until the late game just with the amount of heals. Now Bado, I'm thinking, obviously I main Bado, so I don't want to be too biased here. Her counter is extremely fun to play around with. She does some good normal attack outputs, and she's a great support. I say overall around A tier for her. But however though, with things like Spiral Abyss, it's a bit hard to get off her counter because sometimes the AI just doesn't attack Bado, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Now Bennett, I'm gonna have to put him in S because everyone's gonna riot if I don't. He's all around probably one of the best support characters in the game due to the fact that he can give your party members bigger attack numbers and just give them your base attack straight up. So he's gonna have to go in S. I mean, that is what it is. Chongyon. I've seen some pretty strong Chongyons in my time, but I'm thinking B only because of how his abilities. I just don't like his abilities that much. His circle converts your attack into cryo, which is really cool. But the problem with that is, if you're running a physical character, it kind of messes that up, and you can't superconduct too well with him. So I'm going to put him in B based on the fact that it's a bit hard to do superconduct reactions with him as a support. However, though, you can main DPS him, and that is I think that's the best way you can play him. Now Diluc, he can put out some of the biggest numbers in the game. Obviously, I'm going to put him in S tier. He's not the most exciting character to play. I'll be very honest with everyone here. I've tried him out on a friend's account, and I don't think he's that. He's a great character, don't get me wrong, but he's not the most interesting, character to play in comparison to something maybe like Zhao or Tartaglia. But here it is. Now, Diona, I'm gonna put her high A because of her healing and shield output is extremely useful. She's like Barbara, but a bit better because she can also overheal and do some shields. So that's where it's going to stand for the second. Now Fischl, I absolutely love Fischl, but of course I'm going to put her in S tier because obviously you can use her when she's not on the field, so that kind of makes her a bit more useful to the team, and you can main DPS or not run as a DPS. So I'm going to put her there for now. This might change a bit. Do I say more? Don't need to say anything about that one. Jean, she's a fun healer. So she's a fun healer, and she's a good Animo user, and she can be used as a physical damage dealer as well. I honestly think maybe it's either high A or S. That's the problem here. God, I hate doing tier lists. I realise this is hard. This is really difficult. Now Kaya is better than Chongyon at inflicting superconduct, so I'll give him a B for that, but Chongyon is a better damage dealer, so it's either a high C or a low B, you know. Keqing, I'm going to put her S as well. She's one of the most viable damage dealers in the game. She has multiple ways of building her, and overall that makes her a very fun character. Well, not really the same with Klee, but Klee is a very strong pyro DPS character. A bit clunky to play on mobile, I believe, from what I've heard. So yeah, that kind of might make me move her down a bit. But if you're playing on PC, she's also very good. Now, Lisa is one of my favourite characters in the game. Probably for the wrong reasons, but she is one of my favourite characters in the game. I want to level up and play her more. And obviously, I know there's special ways you can build her to make her do a bit more damage, but in comparison to everyone else here, her damage numbers right now I don't think are too high. Okay, I'll put them in there. Mona, high S tier because she can output some of she can enable one of the biggest damage numbers in the game, and I think overall, people are going to want her for a team because of the fact that she enables such high numbers, just like how Bennett does at the same time. Ningguang, I'm going to put her high A tier. She's a very fun DPS character to play. She's a fun catalyst user. With the new Geo resonance buff, she gets even stronger, and she can one-phase child. It's kind of insane how much damage she does, and I think she deserves a high A tier or maybe even a low S tier because of that. Now, Noelle, I'm going to put her at maybe. Ooh, it's gonna be hard. I'm thinking low A tier. Now, That doesn't mean Noelle's bad, because I really like Noelle, and I'm leveling her up as well. She is a very useful shield character, and I think that's what lets her have the A tier, because her shield output is extremely high, and it can absorb a lot of damage, just like how Zhang Ling's shield can. So I'm going to put her at a maybe mid A tier for the second. Chi-Chi, I'm going to put a low S tier, because I mean, this is the thing, right? Chi-Chi is a very strong healer. She's better than Barbara. I think she's on par with Jean on healing, but she doesn't do much damage. But the thing is, neither does Diona at the same time. So it's a bit hard on where you want to put them, because like technically Diona on paper can be better than Chi-Chi, but Chi-Chi provides bigger healing than Diona does. So I mean, I might just move Diana up one and put Chi-Chi at the bottom of S for that. And Razer, I'm going to put him low A. I mean, like I said inside the video, I like Razer, but I also don't like Razer at the same time. But I understand as well, he is an extremely good main damage dealer. A lot of people love running Razer, and you got to respect that. And I want to put him low A tier, because I think he's a great Electro Claymore user. Now Sucrose, I've not played her much because I don't own her, so I'm gonna put her mid A tier as well because of her great crowd control. That's enough said. She just does great crowd control. She's just really good at that job. Tatalia, mid S, because his damage output is really good, especially with the Heart of Depth set, but his free-to-play weapon roster is a bit lacking in some elements, so that kind of sucks. Venti, another S tier, high S tier, because he literally makes the game a lot easier to play. Zhang Ling, I'm going to put a high B tier. She's a good pyro user to apply pyro effects, and she's also a really good main DPS with the Charisma Pike, but the problem is that Goober annoys me, because Goober attacks the wrong enemies half the time. So yeah, B tier for that. But if Goober attacks the right enemy, it's pretty good. Now Zhao, good main DPS. Again, I'm gonna put him there. He's a bit edgy though, but you know, he's great. Xingqiu, up there with Official, because he can be applied to most, if not all, team compositions, and he's just really strong on that front. Zinnian, high B. She's a good 4-star physical dealer, but the problem is her talents are a bit weird, because you can either build her as a defense character, or you can build her as a DPS. And the problem is you can't make her a proper DPS until you get her to Constellation 6. So yeah, Zinnian's in a bit of a difficult situation, because she's got the highest base attack of all the 4-stars in the game. She gains attack on her level up, but her abilities are based off of defense as well. So yeah, it's either one or the other, and I don't really like the way that sits. However, though, that makes some good build diversity, so that's fine. Now Zhang Ling, he applies the best shield in the game in my opinion, and I'm going to put him there. Now, this is my opinion. Obviously, I don't like where half of this is placed, because I feel like everyone does. I mean, I love every character, mostly, but so it's a bit weird for me to have it like this, and well, this is just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know down below what you guys think, and I'd love to hear it, because honestly, I want to hear what you guys think about things, because not everyone thinks the same way. I mean, I sometimes think differently to everyone else, so I'm interested. But thank you guys for watching this short tier list video, and you know, please don't spam this, and I'll see you guys in another video, so take care.